It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Cory.
Thank you.
How many summers is this? How many candles go on the on the cake?
I put one candle on my cake.
What kind of cake do you like?
This year I had a non-dairy ice cream cake.
You like ice cream cakes? Yeah, I've never been a cake guy. It's never been my thing. You know?
No?
You feel me?
No, I don't. I've always been a cake person.
I'm like if someone's like, here's a cake or here is a pie, I'm gonna take the pie like 90% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What kind of pie?
Any pie. Cream pie.
Don't make it weird, Jake.
Happy birthday, Cory.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, God. What is up, boyos? This is the Jake and Cory podcast. I am Jake. That is Cory. What is up, Cory?
What is up, Jake?
You know, you're back. I'm so happy to have you back in my life. We did a show last week without you. You're making a face at me like you don't believe me.
I don't.
Why?
There's no way. If you missed me that much, you would have made existential provisions to have me on the show for last week.
What do you mean?
Exactly what I
You're
just
the one who
said.
canceled last week.
I did not cancel last week. I just told you that I was working on Saturday. You know I work for the NBA.
You said, I work on Saturday and I don't do Sundays.
Right.
And I said, okay, I work Fridays. Sorry. I guess I'll get a...
And what's today?
Well, today's Friday and I did this right out of work. And I work early in the morning.
How do you feel?
I feel not great about it, but that's okay. We're here. We're doing it, you know?
Yeah, but I still don't believe that you miss me, but I will take the sentiment and say, aw, because I think that's in the book to say, aw.
If I didn't miss you, I wouldn't be doing the show right now, Cory.
Yes, you would.
What do you mean?
Because you would do this show no matter what.
It's called the Jake and Cory podcast.
Which you still did the show last week when I wasn't around.
Well, I did an episode of Fat Guy once.
Look, I'm loaded up on fucking ice cream cake, and I have a sugar high and possibly a half chub at this point. So whatever you're fishing out, brother, I'm catching and reeling in.
I don't know why you're mad at me.
I'm not mad. I'm discording
I don't understand.
With you. I'm not mad at you. I don't get mad at you. Why do you think you're that special that I get mad at you? I have on a shirt that's blue with gold lettering that says, "It's my birthday." I've been wearing this shirt, the only shirt I've worn for the last 24 hours.
I've been wearing this shirt for fucking 27 years.
No one cares about your homelessness.
My homelessness? What does that mean?
You've been wearing that shirt for 25 years. That's the activity of someone that's clearly homeless.
Oh, well, I think a homeless guy probably has like 2 or 3 shirts.
Nah, I've got a couple of homeless people down in my basement. They only have 1 shirt each.
Well, if they live in your basement, they're not homeless.
Now you're getting it.
Now you're getting it. Oh, that's the comedy gold.
And for those of you that are listening to the audio, you are welcome that this isn't a video feature because I literally said I've been wearing this shirt and only this shirt. No pants. Yeah. It's my birthday. Fuck it.
That's true. He's in his birthday suit.
No, I'm not in my birthday suit. I'm in my drawers.
So did you do anything special for your birthday?
Nope.
Nice.
It's the second anniversary. It's the second anniversary of my pandemic birthday. So no, didn't do anything.
Yeah. We all got a pandemic birthday. You got two. You call your kids or anything? Anything special?
My kids are grown. They don't care anymore.
Come on.
No, I heard from all the kids. The kids are fine.
That's good. That's good. I got you a present.
You did not.
Check it out. It's right here.
Jake is laughing to himself because he made his own joke.
It's such a visual gag.
A visual gag, even though 3 minutes ago I said that this is not a video medium.
That's true. It's not.
But thank you for the visual gag.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm just trying to make you laugh. You just seem so sad.
Well,
because it's your birthday? You sad because it's your birthday?
No, I would never be sad when it was my birthday. I've had a very good day.
You had ice cream cake.
I had ice cream cake.
Where'd you get the ice cream cake from?
I won't give them a shout out on the show because I tag them in something on social media and I'm waiting to see if they respond. And if they do respond, then I'll give them a shout out. But it's a place that I had never been to before. It literally was me going to Google and searching non-dairy ice cream shops because it's not something that you find on the regular. You can find non-dairy ice cream in the grocery store, but finding a baker or an ice cream shop that uses non-dairy ice cream in a cake is unique within itself because, and this is going to be very Food Network centric, folks, so stay with me. In order for ice cream to work well with cake, it has to have a high fat content. And when you take out the dairy in ice cream, you lose some fat content. So it makes it very challenging for the ice cream to stay ice cream when it's on top of a cake. You have to have a very dense cake, or you have to have equal balance of fat to sugar ratio for order for the ice cream to work with the cake. It's very difficult to make non-dairy ice cream because ice cream is based in dairy.
That's also important with your sex life as well. A strong fat to sugar ratio.
I'm going to stand up and offend you to no extreme in about 2 seconds. So
are you lactose intolerant?
No, I'm not.
Know this.
I'm not lactose intolerant, but thank you for being a listener of Fat Guy Radio Show because I've spoke at length as to why I don't, as to why I limit my dairy intake.
Why is that?
I'm not going to go into it. You can definitely hear it on Fat Guy Radio Show.
Oh, come on. Yeah, like you listen to any of my other content.
Jake, you've mentioned back to me in the past as to why I limit my dairy intake from the surgery that I had 2 or 3 years ago. Now, it's been quite some time, so maybe your memory is a little jogged, and you do have a lot of metal in your mouth, so that could be affecting your brain cells as well.
It's true. It's true.
You know, it's definitely
the
keeping
magnetic fields. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I had a medical issue about 2 or 3 years ago that once it was resolved, one of the things that I had to continue in my life to avoid having another episodic issue medically was to limit my dairy intake. So I have to limit I don't have to eliminate it. I have to limit it. And because I knew I wanted to gorge myself in ice cream cake, I literally Googled non-dairy ice cream. And I found an ice cream shop in the North Valley that made ice cream cakes. On their website, it had standard ice cream cakes. But I called them and I said, do you guys have the ability to use your non-dairy ice cream that they also offered in your ice cream cake? And lo and behold, they did. And I got the cake.
What's the non-dairy? What kind of stuff do they use? How do they supplement the fat?
There's I believe it's an almond milk.
Give me the science.
I think it's an almond milk breakdown. But basically what it is
because almond milk is a little thicker. Is that why that works?
Yeah, but you know what they do is that they offset it with the sugar balance. So it's really high in sugar. So yes, you won't have any dairy issues, but you'll definitely get diabetes.
Dude, I honestly hate milk. It's just so gross. Just like even thinking about someone just like drinking milk is just my least favorite thing that I can witness someone doing is eat cereal. It's such a gross activity that people do. Just like wheat with tit juice, you know? It's just such a weird thing that we partake in, and it's so gross. But what I do fuck with heavy is oat milk. I fuck with oat milk.
Yeah, and I
Oat
believe
milk
that this ice cream shop used oat milk. And it's a fairly new ice cream shop to Arizona, and I believe there's only 1 or 2 locations. And I just happened, I mean, this literally was me using Google and Google actually working to get me something that I wanted. Now, I will say this, Jake, for a cake that serves about 8 to 10 people, $40.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was rather expensive. And even when I got the cake, there was I still witnessed a little bit of that fat missing breakdown, where after the non-dairy ice cream started to melt a little bit halfway through eating a piece, I started to see the separation between the ice cream and the cake. Like the cake, the sponge cake actually started to pull away from the ice cream.
Yeah, ice cream cake is weird because it's just like you're getting cake wet.
Well, normal people have ice cream with that. I'm going to go past that. Normally you have ice cream with cake. You know, you normally have the ice cream with cake anyway. So
is that like raspberry or is that?
Yeah, the cake that I got was a black raspberry non-dairy ice cream on top of a yellow cake. Is what it was, and it was almost $40, $36.70 for a 9-inch round cake. 9-inch round cake. That's not very big.
No. That's,
you know,
that's 3 times the size of a thing.
And I know people are gonna say, "Dude, you could have just, you could have just went to Fry's." Screw you. You could have just went to Fry's or Safeway or something like that and gotten a cake. Yeah, that's true. But what it turned out to be it wasn't just only non-dairy. It was actually completely vegan.
You know what I prefer over cake?
Pie.
Donuts. I will fuck with a donut. Like, if someone just came to me and they're like, "Hey, it's your birthday. Do you want a cake or like 20 donuts?" I'm going to pick the donuts every single time.
Well, that explains the hole.
The hole?
In the donut.
What explains it?
You said you will fuck with the donut. That explains the hole. It's not funny if I have to explain the joke, Jake.
I didn't get it.
That's okay.
I didn't get it.
It's okay. It's my birthday. That's strike 2 before I stand up and ruin your day.
Please ruin my day. It's already pretty shit. I went to the orthodontist because, as people may know, I have these braces, and this is not something I want to be a talking point forever because I'm gonna have these braces forever. But something interesting happened. This is my first orthodontist appointment since I got them put on, and I got them tightened, which sucks in and of itself. But then on top of that, since my teeth are so crowded, they had to get a file, like this thin little file, and then they put it between my teeth and just kind of grind my teeth away. So they like shave my teeth down so there's more room for my teeth to move around. And this lady's like, "Oh, we'll use this small thin one first." And she does that, and then she's like, "Okay, now we're gonna use the thick one." And she just goes in there with this thick ass file and just starts grinding my teeth away. And she's like, "All right, we'll stop there. We're gonna have to do it again in a month when you come back." I'm
wow.
Like, no. Oh man.
Wow. Thick is always better. That's what I hear.
Yeah, but it was thick. I tell you what. And now I've got like several cuts in my mouth and everything hurts. Oh,
One day you will look back on this pain and you will relish in it.
Oh, I'm sure. You know, I keep thinking though, like I'm about to get the braces off and then I just get in some like horrible car accident and I lose all my teeth or something.
Well,
like,
if you get in a horrible car accident that makes your teeth get effed up, that means your face is going to be effed up too.
Yeah. I just imagine like I get my braces off and I like hit the pavement real hard and I just like lose all my teeth. And it's like, fuck.
Or you get like a really bad gum disease.
Yeah, that's possible.
And you get some gum disease from drinking milk. And then your teeth just fall out of your face and you sneeze one day and in your tissue is your teeth.
I mean, it's going to be hard to get a gum disease with them filing at my gums all the time. So, you know.
They're filing at your gums?
Well, I mean, the file goes down to the gums, you know? Like, it goes all the way down. It's like they're flossing, but with a file.
Were you born with your teeth inside out or were they just all backwards? What the hell?
Oh, dude.
Is it a genetic thing in your family that does everybody have bad teeth?
Yeah. My sister, when she was younger, had like her teeth were so crowded that her like, you know, canines or whatever were like up towards her nose, and she had to get braces so they would come down. She had to get 5 teeth removed because her mouth was so crowded.
Wow.
So then she had space in there. I'm probably gonna have to get at least 1 pulled to have space. Yeah.
Will you ask the doctor for your tooth so you can put it in a necklace? Like a shark's tooth?
Yeah, I'll keep it, but I'm sure it's gonna be disgusting to look at.
Teeth aren't disgusting when they're pulled out of your head.
Yeah, you don't think?
They just look like regular teeth.
I'll ask him to leave the like little piece of gum on there, you know.
From what? 20 years ago?
From my gums.
Ew. That would be nasty.
Yeah.
You might have to put that in some saline and just wear the vial around your neck. And then when you find some woman that's willing to have pity on you and marry you, you can give her the vial of your tooth at the altar.
Well, dude, that'd be great. That's a great idea for like a engagement ring. Instead of a diamond, it's my tooth.
It's your tooth.
That's a great idea.
Because any girl that is willing to accept that from you instead of a diamond, Jake, you marry her.
That's love. Yeah.
That is unequated love.
I think if I'm with someone who would accept a tooth ring, I may not want to marry that person. That may not be the person I'm looking for.
Well, you never know. There might be someone out there that's just in the tooth. Not teeth. Tooth. One.
Yeah, I would definitely fit in like England though, just to throw in that stereotype.
Yeah, there you go, because they don't have fluoride in their water.
You think that's what it is? You think
that's
the lack of fluoride?
That's what a lot of people can point to, is that they don't have fluoride in their water, and that's one of the reasons why.
How would that make their teeth crooked?
I don't know, dude.
That's weird.
I don't know. I'm a huge teeth person. And because I mean,
why don't you marry him?
Well, number one, I'll never marry. That was horrible. But I've always been a huge proponent of teeth. I love someone with a huge smile. You can have a fucked up personality. You could have straw-like hair and be pasty white. And if you have a good smile, I'm all in. You have me at hello teeth.
Well, shit. I'm glad to know that you like me for more than my mouth then, because I don't.
Oh, Jesus.
You like me in spite of my strangly hair and or whatever the fuck you said, and pasty white skin. and a fucked up mouth. Like,
I've liked you from the moment I met you.
yeah, except for like that brief time.
I just don't tell you that.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I want it to always be a challenge to earn
so
my affection.
last week, just to catch you up, to fill you in, I don't know if you listened to the episode. We did, my favorite episode, probably your least favorite episode that we do every like 3 to 4 months, is the rapid fire movie reviews. And I figured, I'd bring my friend Austin, who we often talk about on this show from time to time. And
your Austin or my Austin?
It was your Austin, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this time. The Austin Prime, as I like to call him. Yeah. Yeah, and it was fun talking about movies and stuff. But I will say, I missed having you here, because the whole reason I like doing that is to inform you on the movies you should watch, So basically what I'm getting at is, have you watched any movies recently?
No, I have not. There is a movie that is coming out called Nobody.
Oh, yeah.
On Amazon Prime, I believe.
Is it coming to Amazon Prime? It's in theaters right now.
I believe it's on Amazon Prime, a movie called Nobody. And then, believe it or not, for some stupid, fucked up reason that I know not of, I'm interested in seeing the Mortal Kombat movie that's scheduled to come out on the 22nd. Why? I don't know. But I haven't been... That's Mortal Kombat is, almost the end of my childhood era. I remember running around the schoolyard going, "Aouk!" You know what I mean? I remember doing that stupid stuff. I remember yelling, "Finish him." You know what I mean? Stupid little stuff like that when Mortal Kombat was nothing but a 16-bit game.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of interest in this movie. I know there's a whole lot of backstory to it. I don't care to know about the backstory. I don't want to know about the backstory if there is one.
I don't think, and this is what I say about video game movies all the time, because me and Nick on the Loner Gamecast, we talk about video game movies from time to time. We don't really talk about movies much, but if a movie's coming out and it has to do with video games, we like to talk about it. And what I always say about video game movies, because normally they suck, right? Like most video game movies suck. I can't think of one that's good. Yeah, they all suck. But I think what lends itself best as a video game to being a good movie is if it doesn't have a lot of like plot and stuff and lore already in the game. And that's why I think Mortal Kombat is perfect, because it's just a fighting game. Like there's no like story for Mortal Kombat. There's Snake or whatever. There's the different characters, but there's no reason that they're fighting. It's just a fighting game. There might be games. Everybody. Yeah, there might be games that have like some story in there, but like I think what lends itself best for a filmmaker is to take this property and just do whatever the fuck they want with it. Yeah. And there's a lot of movies where that can't happen. The one that comes to mind is like Assassin's Creed. They made an Assassin's Creed movie a few years ago, and it's like it's hard to take that property and turn it into a good movie because that game is already so cinematic and theatrical that like you're either not going to change it enough or you're going to change it too much, and you're going to upset everyone in the process. But Mortal Kombat, it's just like make it as bloody as possible and everyone's going to be happy with it, What they should make into a movie, and I don't know if they have, and if probably I would imagine, GTA 5 RP on the NoPixel server. Yeah. Dude, I know we got comments about people saying, well, I just listened to 20 minutes of
no GTA 5, NoPixel server conversation. Because that's all I got going on in my life right now, bruh. That's all I got going on in my life. I spend hours upon hours watching not only live, but restreaming, watching the replay. I find myself watching one streamer's vantage point, watching the whole storyline play out, and then I'll jump over to another streamer, and this is not live. This is the replay, because you can watch their last stream broadcast on Twitch, and then I'll go to the other person and see it from their vantage point. And the storylines, I'm just like all engulfed in. I explained one of the GTA 5 storylines on NoPixel on Fat Guy Radio Show, and people thought that I was talking about a fucking drama movie and was asking me, what movie is this? I'm like, it's not a movie. It's a video game. And it's RP. And dude, I'm telling you, I will now say this with confidence. If I had a gaming computer powerful enough to play GTA, I would totally be on the NoPixel server. Not because of the Twitch people that are there, just because of the storylines that develop. I mean,
considering GTA 5 is almost 10 years old at this point, you probably don't need a computer that's like that expensive to run.
Okay, well, yeah, GTA 5 is old, but let me give you a little deep dive into NoPixel, if I may, just for a quick second. Stick with me, folks.
Please.
Or hit the 30-second fast forward.
I'm here.
NoPixel server. I follow one of the NoPixel server developers on Twitch, and he streams. He's known as one of the most powerful people in the city on NoPixel. And the reason why the NoPixel server is being able to continue to have a game on their platform that's this old is because they keep building new elements into it. When whoever the GTA developers were, when they built that, or GTA 5 was built, it was built with so many expansion opportunities. And they're doing it. Like you said, when you were playing GTA 5, you never knew that there was a casino. There's a casino.
Well, the casino came later.
Yeah, there's a casino in this. And now they're getting ready to open up the boardwalk. You know, where characters...
No Texas Hold'em in it, though, which is fucking insane to me.
And the funny thing is that none of the slots... you can't play any of the slots yet either. But
yeah, it's crazy.
I think that's NoPixel's way.
Though.
That's NoPixel's way of continuing to engage people, because the casino opened. Now they're getting ready to open up the boardwalk where a lot of the characters in the game can now own businesses. They're getting ready to customize items that you can sell, where you can literally upload pictures of food items or items into the game and sell them in the game. You know what I mean? So NoPixel is really taking it, I see, and I'm a rube, to another level where they keep adding on more elements. They're getting ready to open up a farmer's market to draw people out to the sandy area of Los Santos. And then the pier is about to open. The actual roller coasters and rides are actually going to work. You know what I mean? So I see that NoPixel, I'm learning that NoPixel is continuing to develop and write in different elements of the game that was never there before, in addition to new elements of heist, new elements of bank robberies that was never in the original game. They have the power to be able to write that in because of the way GTA 5 was designed for streaming. And I believe that's the reason why this game has had such staying power and has had a resurgence on the Twitch platform, because of NoPixel's ability to have this massive smart ass team of people that keep adding more things into the game, making the characters, forcing the characters into different RP scenarios and having them discover new items in the game. The same thing that happened to me when I was playing Stardew Valley. I kept discovering new things, which just sucked me in.
I am surprised that they never made a GTA movie. Maybe because it'd be too controversial. I don't know.
I mean, there's a
Seems
lot of
like
shit in that game that I could see why there was so much controversy when GTA first came out. There's a lot of drug growing, drug selling. I haven't seen any necessary any prostitution. You know,
oh, it's there. It's there.
I've never seen it. You know,
if you play the campaign, it's pretty, it's pretty wild. But the campaigns have gotten more tame though.
It gets so real to me, the characters. Where this is the idea that I had, Jake, and I should come on the gaming show and talk about this idea. This idea that I had was to take these characters in the game as the character in the game and just discuss their lives with them and have like this GTA
podcast within a game.
Yeah, but I would develop a reporter character, and I would do. Now I've actually thought about doing this off the NoPixel server as well for my blog, where I would literally interview me in real person talking to the character in the GTA game, the RP, and just have that RP player stream to me that character in the close-up talking to me. You know what I mean? Where I'm actually literally talking to, let's say, Benji, you know, the second in command of the Vagos on the server. You know what I mean? I've had this idea. I'm like, dude, I could like get into this and talk to him about because right now the Benji character is really starting to develop because he's this hard ass fucking gangster, second in command of one of the biggest fucking gangs in Los Santos. But then he meets this little girl named Ash in the game, and she's starting to soften him a little bit. And he's such an asshole and gangster, he doesn't really know how to receive her love. But
you know how me and Nick have a spoiler cast show for Falcon and Winter Soldier. You need your own spoiler cast for the GTA RP.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it is shit that I think people would sit back and invest, because I don't know what it is about me, dude, but I literally have the ability to suspend the belief that this is actually a real person role playing. It's so especially the streamers that turn off their cam, when the ones that go full, when you can go full in and all you see is the game, those are the streamers that I really love. I like the full immersion into the game.
Have you ever heard of Vtubers?
No, what's Vtubers?
So it's fun you bring up the fact that you want to interview these people, because I'm actually interviewing a VTuber this week, and that should be up on the channel soon. I won't say who it is, but yeah, I'm interviewing a VTuber, and what a VTuber is basically it's a Twitch streamer, but instead of like them having a cam of like when I stream, it's like a cam of myself, you know, but like they have like a little avatar that they have. Yeah, that's what a VTuber is.
But I want to interview these. I don't want to interview the Twitch streamer. Well, okay, it's kind of hard for me to explain. I do want to interview the Twitch streamer, but I want to interview them in the character that they play in GTA.
Right, because the person I'm interviewing is a VTuber who has an avatar that is a character, right? When he streams as a character, and I'm interviewing the character, right? Because no one knows who this person is in real life. So I'm basically going to be like, I don't know, role playing with him, but I'm not, because I don't know who he is in real life. I just know his avatar, you know?
So you're like, going to be, that's okay. Yeah, that's essentially the same thing. Yeah. I want to do with these GTA characters. I want to interview the leader of the Vagos. I want to interview Dean, that owns the freaking casino and known as the richest man and the most powerful man in the game. You know, I want to interview Cassie Cupcakes, who's the CEO of three different companies in the game. I want to talk to the crackhead of the city known as X, who just runs around and scams everybody, lies, cheats, and has been sent on a cruise ship not once but twice They've sent his ass on a cruise ship, aka that means you've been banned from the game twice. But I want to talk to these people.
In real life.
Yeah, but I want to talk to these people in their character, in their GTA character. I want to talk to that character, what the hell they were trying to accomplish. There's a character called Dundee who swears he's the best driver in the world. Then why the hell do you always get caught? If you're the best driver in the world, and the one that is the best driver in the city, his name is Santiago. He never claims to be the best driver in the city, but he clearly is. He never gets caught. I want to talk to these people because these people interact with each other. I mean, it's just an idea. And then logistically, I would like to be able to do it where I'm in real person, like I am with you, video connected. But in the second screen would be them in a character. Them in their GTA character. Now, I don't know if that's like going to be some violation of who's the GTA developers? Rockstar. I don't know if that's going to be a violation of Rockstar or a violation of NoPixel.
I mean, they stream the game. So
I mean, I don't know. They stream the game, but they stream the game on a platform that's Twitch. They're not streaming the game for, let's say, like a blog interview or something where they interview as that character. But to be able to sit there to be able to sit there on a split screen with me in real person talking to basically a fucking avatar, that would be murder, I think. And I thought it was an original idea, but you just told me that people do it called VTubers.
Yeah, I'm doing an interview this week. I'm very excited about it.
I would love to do it, but a lot of the characters that I am vested in, and I'm not just talking about the fact that I'm sitting back and just watching these. I'm actually supporting the streamers too. And I know that that's an important thing too. I believe I have over $75 a month now that's allocated just to Twitch subscriptions. You know, at $5.
We all know XQC and Hassan need more money.
Yeah, I actually don't subscribe to XQC because his character drives me in fucking insane.
How often is Hassan in there?
I probably have seen Hassan's character, but don't know that it's Hassan. Yeah. Is his name Hassan Habib?
It's
no, his name's not Hassan Habib.
Hassan Piker.
No, there's one guy that's in there called Habib, and he had me mauling hard because he has multiple characters, and one of his characters was a judge, and he was presiding
Hassan
over
Abi?
Who?
Hassan Abi?
I don't know. I have to pull up that's Twitch to see it.
Because his main thing is that he's a political streamer, but he also does this GTA RP stuff, which is weird. It's a weird like dichotomy he has going on, and I actually respect it a lot because that's kind of what I'm going for here on this channel. Is like we talk about video games, we talk about movies, but like we also on this show we get like political sometimes. Like it's just kind of like whatever we're interested as a whole here is what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I respect that a lot. I like that kind of content.
But it's not Hassan Habib. It's some other guy who has a really heavy accent. But that dude totally botched the fucking court case for one of the characters, and I was totally mauling over it. I was totally mad, and I may have said some unfair things to myself about him. Being from Dubai and presiding over a case that's based in a U.S. fake city, and then I had to really sit back and think to myself, Cory, this is a fucking video game. Get over it. Why are you?
You know what's
mauling?
interesting? You know what's interesting about fucking GTA RP is that their police in that game, they're ran better than the police in our real life.
Well, yes and no, but the police in this game on the NoPixel server, these motherfuckers are so damn corrupt and fucked up, dude. They have
more strict gun laws in GTA RP than we have in our current society.
That may definitely be the case, but there is still some abuse that is happening in the GTA because a cop that rams a car for a suspect that's unarmed, and then the cop has the right to whip out a class 2 firearm and unload a clip on them just to stop them for a stupid red light running warrant. That's a little excessive in my opinion.
Cory really not feeling my attempt at a transition here.
No, I wasn't, because I don't want to talk gun laws.
Well, it's not necessarily gun laws. It's, what happened over the past week was that literally 15 minutes away from where George Floyd was murdered, a cop killed another person. And this time, this cop keeps saying, "Oh, I thought it was my taser." And they thought they pulled out their taser and ended up shooting somebody. When in fact they were attempting to tase them. Yeah, so that's been fun. Caused a bunch of riots and protests, because of course. And I've just been seeing some like appalling shit of cops coming to these protests that have definitely turned into riots. Basically, it looks like a fucking war scene. I don't know if you've seen any of these videos where like literally the National Guard is showing up. Journalists are there and they're like, "Hey, we're going to arrest journalists." It's just feeling like, what country do I live in, man? It's so weird that that our journalists are being threatened to be arrested for being journalists. That's literally our First Amendment, is freedom of press. But I guess that's less important than our gun laws, according to some. Because the same people who are okay with these journalists being threatened and being arrested are the same people that, are like, well, our Second Amendment. It's like, well, if you care about the Second Amendment so much, you should also care about our First Amendment. Certainly Trump didn't care. I mean, if you remember back, his whole vendetta was against journalists and how journalism is bad, and it's just insanity. I don't know if you've kept up with this at all.
I have not, and purposely I have not.
Yeah, it's been wild, and literally right down the street, the Chauvin case is going on. The guy who killed George Floyd, and it's just, how does this keep happening?
I'm not going to apologize that I don't have any retort or anything to add to that, because I have selectively chosen not to follow any of these stories, because I am almost confident on how most of them are going to end. And like you just said, how does this keep happening? Supports the fact that I already know how this is going to end. So instead of ruffling my feathers up and becoming part of the fray, I've disconnected from it, man. I'm not ignoring that it's a problem. We all fucking know that it's a problem. But I've chosen to eliminate it from my life for a purpose, because it's not going to do anything but anger me. It's not going to do anything but upset me. It's not going to do anything but break my heart and give me a different level of fear. So I honestly don't, I see it and I immediately move past it on purpose. I've chosen not to do it, because one thing that we are guilty at in this country is giving these monsters the platform that they've always wanted. And when we continue this, have you ever noticed that anytime there is some type of mass shooting or something like that, the news and the media always wants to report on it, and they give you the person's middle name? it's always their full fucking name. You know, so if we stop watching, again, I go back to the fact that if we stop giving them our time, they will change their song or they will go away. One of the other things. So I purposely, Jake, regarding the killing up the street from where George Floyd was killed and the court case for the police officer for George Floyd, I've disconnected from it, man. I can't do it. My last 2020 was enough for me. I can't take any more. So I've chosen to purposely avoid it. And I know that that's going to tie my hands for conversations on this show, but I can't do it anymore, man. I've had enough.
I personally feel like, you know, if you've got people on one side, like a Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder, all these people, you know, screaming their hearts out, and then we sit over here silently. That's a loss, I think. Personally.
But the only reason why Tucker Carlson and those other guys that you named are able to scream is because people are listening.
Right.
So if people stop listening, they will stop screaming.
People don't stop listening, though.
Exactly. So that's why this shit keeps going on and on and on.
People
because
have ears,
people
dude.
are not. People are listening. They're eating it up. Whatever these talking heads are saying, people are taking as the word of God instead of choosing to create their own path in life. Instead of listening to what some dumb shit that fucking probably suck dick or fuck somebody to get their position on TV.
Right, but if these people have their platform and are screaming at the top of the lungs, and people with ears, everybody has ears, and all they are hearing is this one side, and no one from the other side is speaking, that other side disappears.
I see what you're saying on that, and I partially agreed to it. The thing is that the people that should be arguing and speaking up to counter the idiots, they're not. And those are the people that should be speaking, but the ones that are speaking may be speaking against the idiots, but they're not speaking against the idiots on a platform or in a way that represents the majority of how people feel. They're speaking for their own selfish reasons. So it makes them as equally as culpable as the people like Tucker Carlson and everybody else. I just don't. I've chosen in my life, my journey, my time. I'm not giving it to them because we've all seen historically nothing is going to change.
You think I bring it up selfishly, or?
No, I don't think you bring it up selfishly. I think you bring it up because you are a little bit of a political junkie, as am I. And I know it ties my hands when it comes to those types of conversations on this show. That's why I, bring other things like GTA talk and shit, because that's what I've decided to engulf myself in, because I can't engulf myself. You know what I mean? We had the dumpster fire of Trump all last year. We had the pandemic that's still continually raging on. You know what I mean? We got the pillow guy that's now trying to create his own platform. You know what I mean? True. So there are, so I'm not guilting you, Jake, into doing it, baby boy. You continue to do it. I personally have just had enough. My heart is full.
I think like, I don't know. Even if you're bringing it up selfishly, but you're saying the right things, that's still a win, I'd say.
And you typically do say the right things. You do. I'm saying that.
I'm not even talking about myself.
I can't go with you on it because I've disconnected myself, man. I have to. I can't. I just can't anymore.
Yeah. I mean, if it's for your own sanity, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, dude. It's just too much. I don't want to live in a world where I have to look over my shoulder every fucking day, where I have to drive completely perfect, hoping that I don't encounter a law enforcement officer. I mean, I have a little bit left in my heart, a little small smidgen of a corner that peace officers are still, the majority of them are still good and fair. And I don't want to lose that.
Well, I don't feel that way, but
I know.
Yeah.
I know. And a lot of people that I encounter don't. Especially a lot of people that I encounter in the African American community. They don't. I don't necessarily agree with the police. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of that stuff. And the reason why is because I'm holding out that little inkling of hope, man. And it may be for naught. And the way that things look, it may be for naught. But I that's all I got, man. That's all I got is that little itty bitty small minuscule corner of hope. That's all I got left to lean on. And I
don't think most cops get into it for nefarious reasons, you know. But I think most cops get into it and they become complicit with what's going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is a power structure, you know, that you know, especially when you're like a rookie or whatever, you have no. It's like joining a gang, right? Like it. I mean, police are. It's a cult, really. Like it's like you get into it as a rookie with good intentions, and I think most people who like join cults and stuff probably same thing. Get into it. You think this is gonna better your life. You think you're gonna better your community. And then you end up seeing some shit, but you're a rookie. You can't say anything. But now you've already seen shit. And it's like, well, I can't say something down the line. Now I've already said something. I'm already complicit with it. Things get worse and worse and worse. And then you're just one of them. And I think the only way to change it is to address it and to call it out. And hopefully one day, we're never going to get rid of the police, nor do I really think we should. But like, it'd be nice to see some reform. You know, some maybe we have additional things added to the police, like a whole unit of social workers and counselors and crisis hotlines are more readily available and these kind of things. And then on top of that, just, you know, better training for these police officers on how to handle these extreme, because ultimately, like, a lot of this does come down to like these cops are put into like some pretty stressful scenarios, you know. But I saw an interesting article by a former military. I forget which branch he was in, but he was in the military and he was talking about how about what just happened, where the person pulled out the taser or pulled out the gun instead of the taser, and everyone's questioning. You know, I think most people are like, yeah, this person meant to pull out the taser, but ultimately pulled out the gun. But does that excuse what happened? And this military person was talking about how in the military, that can happen, you know, but you're still going to be held accountable. There is no... friendly fire is always going to be... If you pull out the wrong gun, you're going to be held accountable in the military. And we don't hold our police to the same standard that we hold our military, which is insane because police are here domestically, here to protect us. You know, we should hold them at least to the same standard as the military, right? It's so bizarre and strange.
I agree with you that reform needs to happen on the police side. But there's a community responsibility in some of these incidents as well.
What do you mean?
Well, I hate to repeat something that damn near got me canceled years ago. But you cannot have someone that is a suspected criminal attempt to flee from being arrested or held and not expect that cop to do what they think or react how they feel they should react. That's what I mean by there's some community culpability in some of these scenarios that end badly. Well, and and I've said this before, and this is what got me in a lot of trouble, is I said, let's dig down to the root of some of these issues. Not stating that anybody is right or wrong. Not saying that anybody is more righter than the other.
Right.
But two wrongs don't make a right. And if you have a cop that's not well prepared or has an ill thought of an individual because of the color of their skin, and then you add that cop into a scenario of someone that has intentions of fleeing or debating or fighting back to that cop, that's going to end tragically, because you've got two ignorant decisions being made. So that's why I say there has to be some community culpability in some of these situations as well. Because if the criminal didn't attempt to do something, maybe the outcome would have been different. And I've said that, and it pisses people off to no extreme every time I say it.
Well, I do hear what you're saying, because I do think this one is a bit more nuanced than the George Floyd one, which was just, it's pretty obvious what happened there. But like this one is a bit more nuanced because this guy was obviously trying to flee. But the question comes down to how do you mix up a taser and a gun? How are you just like a traffic cop and even have a gun? Like it's and why'd they stop him in the first place?
And those are fair questions.
Yeah, and I think those are the more important questions.
Personally. I would rope the question also in there. Why did he attempt to flee?
I think that's an unimportant question.
It's nevertheless a question.
Well, because I have nothing to do with that guy, but the police serve me.
But we can't, and this is going to sound like I'm defending the police, and I'm not. But having... What do they expect? What do they expect to do if you have a criminal that's trying to flee the police? They expect the police to just say, "Oh, he's trying to run. I'm going to stop. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to try to detain him." Is that what we're expecting? Or are we expecting a social worker to come up and try to talk this guy out of stop running? What are we expecting to happen when you have a person that is fighting against someone that unfortunately may or may not be in the right position to do their job, or be in the right job for the type of person that they are? No one knows how you're going to react when you're put in that fight or flight mode.
I do expect my police to know the difference between a gun and a taser.
That I can definitely agree with.
And how to react properly to the situation.
I agree with that. But do you think that officer would have even had to consider a firearm or a taser if the person that they were trying to detain was not resisting? Do you think she would have had to make that decision?
Who knows?
See, you're right. And there's really no answer to that. And unfortunately now we're arguing.
Fruitvale Station happened, right?
Yeah, but you
and
have to.
Same thing happened there. And this person was already on the ground. Someone was on top of them. This person put their gun to their back, shot him because they thought it was a taser. First of all, why are you trying to tase him? He's already on the ground.
I agree with you on that.
This keeps happening, and that's the main point. And yeah, people are gonna flee. Like there's nothing we could do about that. We can't do anything about bad people other than arrest them, right? But
well, you can't even arrest them, because if they try to flee and then you make a mistake, you know what I'm saying? Don't make a mistake. And I understand that there are situations that are 100% wrong. like you said, somebody on the floor, hands behind their back. You think you have a taser in your hand, you have your gun, and you shoot them in the back, and they're dead. That's a situation where where the person is completely rendered immobile. They cannot flee. They cannot run. They're face down. That's a situation where definitely that's a miscue on the officer's part. But we can't expect, what are the officers supposed to do? I honestly believe, Jake,
the officers are not supposed to be judge, jury, and executioner.
You are correct, and I agree with that. But I believe that there is a segment of the African American community that expects that if any black person fights against the cop, that cop should let them go. There's a segment of the community that believes that.
Well, I think it's just
and that's
hard.
Wrong too.
I think it's just hard to see this person get murdered. Well, just a little bit ago we had a shooting, and all of these mass shooters end up walking out alive somehow, unless they kill themselves. And it's typically
and they get
they're
taken
white.
to Burger King.
Yeah,
that's fucking wrong too.
Get some, these.
I mean, I'm just saying that I
did see a funny, a little funny on Twitter. It was, because one of the cop stations ended up getting burned down, and because of the riots. And I'm not condoning that at all. Don't do that. That's bad. But I did see a funny where it's like, why did you guys throw a Molotov at the police station? And they're like, oh, we're sorry. We thought it was a box of donuts. We must have mixed it up. Sorry.
I understand what you're saying, Jake, but I do believe that, I just see that there's some culpability on both sides. Maybe more so on one side than the other, but there still is, man, because when I was raised, I was taught that when you encounter a law enforcement, it's yes, no answers, no movements. You know what I mean? And that's not just because of the color of my skin, but that's just because, situations like this happen. You know what I mean? And thank God I've never had to experience, I don't know what a cop's handcuffs feel like other than when I did a ride along several years ago.
Oh, I thought you were going to say some role play stuff. Okay.
Yeah, some role play stuff, some sexual stuff. Don't make it weird, Jake. You know what I mean? That's the only time that I know what cop cuffs feel like. I don't know what the inside of Madison Street Jail looks like. I don't know what the inside of any of our prisons look like. And I'm fortunate for that. But I also believe that was because I was raised to handle myself in a certain manner when I encounter law enforcement. And a lot of people believe, oh, Cory, you're just saying that because you have a podcast and you have police officers that support your podcast and you support the police officer associations, and that doesn't have shit to do with it. I have friends who are police officers, yes, but I've never encountered them out there in the middle of a traffic stop. But when I have encountered a traffic stop, I become basically a fucking robot. I answer the questions that they ask. I give them what they ask. I've never been asked to step out of my car. My vehicles are always legal. And here's the one thing, Jake. Here's the one thing that just blows everybody's fucking mind when I say it. I'm not a goddamn criminal. I don't do anything to make myself appear or look like a criminal. But that's just the way that I was raised. And I know that's not the case with a lot of people, but that's how it works for me.
Well, and yeah, I get that. Yeah, you should, if you're getting pulled over or whatever, you should follow the rules. Yeah, whatever. But also, we shouldn't be terrified of our police. I've never had an experience where a cop walks into like a restaurant or something and I'm like, I feel better now. I feel safer now. That's never been the case. I'm like, this might escalate something, and like that is every time I see a cop. If a cop pulls up behind me, I'm not like, ooh, thank God this guy's here. Never once. It always feels the same as when a cop enters a restaurant versus like a Hell's Angel walking into a restaurant. It's the same sort of feeling, the same sort of vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and
I do. I
that's-
used to have that feeling where I'm like, oh, I had a sheriff deputy that owned a home up the street from me, and when I first bought my house, when I first bought my house 10 years ago, I was like, you know what, it's gonna be actually kind of cool to have a sheriff's deputy, up the street. The street would be quiet. I mean, my neighborhood is quiet anyway, and I will say a little bit of that is kind of gone. You know what I mean? And he still lives up the street, and so I recognize what you're saying, and when I find myself now, the few times that I am out in the community, if I see them anywhere in my line of sight, I'm becoming as inconspicuous as possible. Even though I'm not doing anything wrong, I find myself becoming inconspicuous. I don't want to give them any reason. And right. I know that some of the cops out there don't even need a reason, but I want to make sure that I'm not giving them a reason. And Jake, this is another thing that I've actually looked into doing, getting my own dashboard cam. One of the cams that is shooting the inside of my car and the outside of my car, both audio and video wise. And a lot of that thought process on getting one of those is because of law enforcement. And that's a sad thing, unfortunately, because I would never have said that personally. I would say, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, because like I just saw a video of a dude get pulled over, and this dude's wearing his military outfit, like he's in his military attire, and they came at him with guns drawn. And it's like, when you're in that scenario where like guns are drawn, you may have not even done anything. This guy didn't do anything. The only thing he did was he went a little too far because he wanted to make sure they weren't on a 2-lane. He didn't want to pull over on a 2-lane. He wanted to make sure that everyone was safe when he was pulled over. So they came out, guns drawn, and it's like, it's hard to stay calm when you have a gun drawn on you. Yeah.
And I can't tell you what I would do, because I've never had a gun drawn on me in that type of scenario. I've had guns drawn on me in different types of scenarios, but not by law enforcement. I wouldn't know what I'd do.
Paintball guns.
No.
Yeah,
no guns.
It's just, and you mentioned your community. It should be on the community. Well, the police are supposed to be members of that community, and they're supposed to serve the community.
That's true as well. I think that there is some culpability on both sides in some of these scenarios. So, and I get in trouble for that, man. I get
good
fucking in
people
trouble
on both sides. Just like, I don't know, like a dude trying to flee or whatever has very little to do with me, but the police have everything to do with me because I pay for them. We pay for them. You know what I mean? So it's like,
and I also think that if we're looking for mental health background checks on people for guns, I think there should be mental health background checks on law enforcement officers as well. They should dig deep into them, see if they were bullied in school, see what kind of life that they live. I mean, you got to realize, Jake, this is without argument. In other countries, it takes years to become a law enforcement officer. Here, I can speak for Arizona, 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And you've got a badge and a gun and you're in a cruiser. 6 to 8 weeks.
And most of the training is gun training.
Yeah.
And combat training.
Yeah.
And
that's
ultimately your job as a police officer, and this is not what they teach you, but this is what it should be, is how to de-escalate so you never see combat. Because a cop shouldn't want to ever see combat. That should be their primary goal, is to talk people down and not see combat. Protect the community, that's what you want to do. If you want to see combat, go join the MMA or something.
Or watch Mortal Kombat, that's coming to theaters on April 22nd.
True. Did you see that trailer for it?
I don't know, but Jake, you're really pushing this recording system to its end.
One thing in that trailer, fucking one of the dudes, his like power is that he turns things to ice. So he slices a dude, blood comes out. He turns the blood into a sword because he turns it to ice, and then stabs him.
I saw that.
It's fucking awesome, dude. It's fucking awesome. I'm pumped. Well, this has been the show. Make sure you check out the other shows on the channel. Loner Gamecast is live every Monday at 3:30. Comes out everywhere else on Tuesday. This show comes out every Monday morning. I've got an interview planned, like I said, that'll be coming out soon. Spoiler cast for the Falcon and Winter Soldier. We do that every week. Show's coming, it's wrapping up next week, so we'll be doing a season 1 spoiler cast extravaganza. Probably talk about Falcon and Winter Soldier for like 6 hours long or something. It's gonna be good. Show kicks ass. It's really good. Anyway, you know what else kicks ass? Cory. Happy birthday, Cory. Also, this is episode 60. We made it. Woo! 9 more episodes. 9 more, and that's the sex number. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Time for contract renegotiations.
I can't wait for the sex number episode. Woohoo!
I'm not even going to be on that episode. I'm going to do my best to have a WNBA game.
We're going to go from 68 to 70. We're just going to skip episode 69. All right, that's the show. Bye-bye. 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever.